in your team pages that we are doing a more planful approach to our team calls so you guys can know what to expect. And so if you have not seen that post, ask your coach. But this, looks like Jocelyn's on. Okay. This call tonight is where we are going to be watching a training together every Monday in a group called the Slay Squad, which you're welcome to be in. So if you're not in it and you want to be, you're welcome to. They typically do a Monday night call at 8 with different leaders in the network or special speakers. So you're always welcome to watch them on your own. But what we've decided to do is to pick one of our favorites from the month before to share with you guys on our team call on Tuesday. Because we still like the idea of seeing each other's faces and getting together and have community rather than all of us just watching that call on our own. Does that make sense? And having team calls every single night of the week or whatever, that just doesn't work for our lives. So we'll see how this goes. We'd love feedback from you guys. So tonight we're going to be watching a Slay Squad call, and they had a guest speaker. Her name is Judy, J-U-D-I, Holler, H-O-L-L-E-R, and I'll be showing her social media stuff later if you want to follow her. I decided to skip the first 16 minutes of this call, which essentially is her just babbling, and I'll tell you a little bit about her. First, and this is not a dig on her because I'm a girl of the 90s too. I like hip hop and all the things. And she will self-proclaim she still kind of talks like a gangster, and so you'll notice that. And have your headphones on if you have little kids around because she does have some colorful language. She is an improvist, so she call them, a person who's improv from the Second City in Chicago. That's where she got her start, and she took her expertise in improv and does keynote speaking now. And she'll talk a little bit about her book. I'm listening to it right now. I think Jen and Mon both have it on their queue. Jen's listening to it. Mon has it on her queue. It's called Fear is Your Homeboy, and I can't think of the name, but she'll talk about it. So essentially, this is her keynote speech that she gives all over. It's going to be, I think it's like 28 minutes long, and she'll talk more about her book and some free resources at the end that you guys can get. But then she kind of goes into, her book and things, you're liking her stuff, her book on Amazon has a positive review, and then into a Q&A. So we'll see at that point if we kind of want to just get off the call and chat a little bit, maybe talk a little bit about what resonated with us, because she's going to be talking about some good stuff that has to do with business and coaching, but just sort of has to do with our own fear and self-limiting beliefs. So I'm really excited about it, but I will say her voice is kind of hilarious. And if you think her voice is great, sorry, I'm not trying to be judgmental or mean, but I feel like I need to preface this because it's kind of, anyway, so Jen and I both started listening to her book on Audible, and we're like, this is so great, but her voice is kind of like, huh. Okay, so she calls herself a creative entrepreneur, which I think just means she's making money by being awesome and writing books, and she has a podcast. She'll share about that. So if you do not, I would encourage you to grab a pad of paper and something to write with, because she is going to drop some good quotes and things, and then she's also going to go through an acronym, which I think will be a really neat thing for us to follow up with our upline coaches on a future call about how we're taking action on the acronym for the word brave. So any questions or anything? I know someone has to get off in 20 minutes, so I want to get it started so you can get the good of it. Okay, everybody good with me just starting? Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Can y'all see it? Yes? Nod your heads? Okay. And can you guys hear it? That's the question.
No, Becky, when you go back, so unshare, and then when you hit share screen and that white, thing pops up on the bottom left, you have to actually check off a box that allows you to share the sound.
So glad. Don't you guys love how you can learn new things after 5 years supposedly knowing what you're doing? Let's try again.
I love a lot of you have seen improv, which is so dope. Oh my God, I love it. Yay. Okay, so this is good. Groundlings in LA. Yes. Live in Milwaukee. You're not far from Chicago. You should check that out. I love this. Improv in middle school and in high school. It totally counts. And even if you've never seen improv, it doesn't matter. We're all improvising every single day. Let me know. Did you wake up with a script today? Do any of us have a freaking script? We do not have a script. ever in this life. And especially now more than ever, we have to understand how to move through life bravely without that script and to keep going when SHIT hits the fan, kind of like what's happening right now. So I wanted to share something with you guys I think you dig, and it is our Fear Boss mission. And this is really important. So the Fear Boss mission is this. We believe that freedom lives in smashing comfort zones. Here's the deal. All of us want more freedom in our lives. But most of us aren't willing to do the uncomfortable things required in order to earn that freedom. So a lot of us want financial freedom, the freedom to have safety and security and to feel okay in times of uncertainty. We want physical freedom, the freedom to move our bodies and to be able to live with health and energy. We want mental freedom, the freedom to be able to focus and manage anxiety and self-doubt. We want spiritual freedom, the freedom to have peace in our lives and a sense of like deep self-love. And we also want professional freedom, the freedom to do work we love the way we want with people that rock and the way you can get it, because you can get it. But you have to be willing to do the uncomfortable things required in order to earn it for yourself. So I want to invite you into what I call the discomfort zone. By the way, this is my favorite emoji on the planet, the uncomfortable, awkward moment. What's your favorite emoji? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to see yours. This is the emoji I probably send all the time. I'm always like, hey, hi, me over here. Like, I hope this, I don't sound like a total nerd right now. I am the awkward emoji, I feel like. And I think a lot of you can relate. So think about this. When we talk about the discomfort zone and I love this, the fire, the upside down face, that's a good one. Oh, the face plant. So good. The mind blown one. I love that. Face palm is like classic. Someone put the monkeys with no eyes. I love this. The hand clap. Love it. The cartwheel. Forget that there's a cartwheel. So good. So think about this. Every single awesome thing you have in your life required you to do something uncomfortable in order to earn it for yourself. So if you have a kid right now, and I see a lot of kids up on the screen, right? People at home with their kids. If you had a kid, right? If you have a kid, you had to give birth. Okay, that was a very uncomfortable process, but it earned you your beautiful child, right? What about your partner, your spouse, your significant other, your boyfriend, girlfriend? You had to go on the awkward first date, like somebody had to ask somebody out, and that is always awkward face emoji, okay? You had to get uncomfortable in order to earn that relationship. What about your job or your career? If you're building a business, you have to have uncomfortable conversations. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be willing for people to tell you no, for people to not get it. That's awkward, but you'll never build a business if you're not willing to do that. What about if you have a full-time job and this is your side hustle? You had to interview for that job. You had to put yourself out there. You had to get your stuff together and kill that interview, right? So it required you to get uncomfortable. What about your best friend? Someone had to be the awkward person that went over and said, hey, I like you. Do you want to go have like drinks or hang out with me? I mean, I remember meeting my best friend over snow cones when we were 18 at college. And I was like, hi, do you want to go to this like fraternity party with me tonight? And I was like, I'm just going to go ask her. And we've been best friends ever since, right? But you think of your bestie, someone had to start that relationship. And then of course your health and your savings, like no one, when you think about your health, no one wants to eat the kale. Maybe some of you like kale, but most of us eat the kale and take the vitamins and move our body because we know it's going to give us the healthy life that we want. So the point I'm trying to make here is all the stuff you have in your life that you love, you had to go earn it, and you had to do uncomfortable things in order to get it for yourself. So I am obsessed with the discomfort zone because I believe it's the discomfort zone and something's going on here. Jillian, did I miss that? Did I miss something going on? Jillian, did she get married? Did she get engaged? 3 days, something happened with Jillian. Someone's got to brief me. But I love it. I love it. Married 3 days ago. Yes, girl. Happy wedding. And I love good news in the middle of a freaking pandemic. So much love to you. And I love love. So girl, that is really good news. And I love that you got married in the middle of the pandemic. And Such good news. So in order for you to meet your spouse, you had to walk into the discomfort zone, and you made it work in the middle of a really big discomfort zone. So I'm over here cheering you on, Fear Boss. So I want you guys to think about and to be brave enough to get more comfortable in this space and to become obsessed with it. Like I am. I believe that your courage and your bravery is a muscle. And the more you use it, the stronger you get. So I want to take you to Fear Boss Fitness with me. And in that gym, we are picking up weights. And the weights we are picking up our discomfort. And the more we do this, the more we experiment with our fear every day on purpose, the stronger and braver we get. Here's the problem. Here's the twist. We get so afraid of what other people are going to think about us. We're so afraid that people aren't going to like us, that they're going to judge us, that people are going to make fun of us. And this is probably the number one question I get. What do I do? What if people don't like it? What if someone says no? What if people make fun of me? What if people don't like me? And I'm going to say something to you right here, right now. And this may be hard for you to hear, and I hate to break it to you. But people already don't like you. People are already making fun of you. And people are already judging you. Can I get a mic drop? Amen. Emoji hands going up. So the question is, who are you living your life for? Who are you raising your family for? Who are you running your business for? Who are you getting up and getting ready in the morning for? You or everybody else? So once you start to realize this, you will set yourself free. You will start to make decisions for you and your business. And what I always like to think about it this way. If they're already talking about you, Fear Boss, you might as well give them something to talk about. So that is what a Fear Boss does. And we understand that it is required material to smash comfort zones and to experiment with our fears so that we can get braver and stronger and sort of stand up to these negative and self-limiting beliefs that are only doing one thing and one thing only, keeping us stuck, safe, and just the same. So I want to challenge the word fearless. I think this is a problem we have. We get so caught up in this world. There are books that are telling you to go be fearless. There's t-shirts and jewelry and bumper stickers. Everybody's telling you to go be fearless. And I actually hate this word. I loathe this word. Why? Because your goal should never be fearless. Think about it, Fear Boss. If you were really fearless, you would do all kinds of crazy stuff. You would you would host an event with 500 people in the middle of COVID and not care, right? You would eat poisonous foods on purpose. You would go out into traffic on purpose. You would do all kinds. You would never go to a doctor. You would never pay your taxes, right? You would do all kinds of crazy stuff if you were fearless. So our goal shouldn't be fearless. And Elizabeth Gilbert wrote this in her book, Big Magic. If you've never read Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, oh my God, go get you some of that book. I talk about it in my book, but she writes this. She goes, the only fearless people I know are 5-year-olds and sociopaths. And I don't think we want to be a 5-year-old. Again, we love 5-year-olds, but we don't want to be 5. And we most certainly aren't sociopaths. So no, the goal should not be fearless, Fear Boss. The goal should be figuring out how to fear your fear just a little bit less. And this is what makes you brave. Your goal shouldn't be fearless. Your goal should be figuring out how to be just a little bit braver than you were yesterday. So how do we run the reps on this idea? I want to walk you through a super quick 5-part framework that is literally the OG courage framework of my life. These are the things. OG is original gangster. I remember that. There's a lot of people in the comments like, what's OG? OG is original gangster. If you follow me for a second, I went to high school in the 90s. I own it. And so I grew up with like that 90s hip hop. I'm a big hip hop girl. Love it all. everything's OG to me, and it's a term of endearment for me. And so this is one of the OG frameworks that I use to really manage my fear on the regular. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. It doesn't mean I'm not scared, but it means that I'm on a mission to be just a little bit braver than I was yesterday. And that is always a freaking win. And there are some ideas living inside of this framework that can help you run your business differently, parent differently, love differently, lead differently, sell differently, right? Think differently. So are you guys ready? Oh, I got some 90s people. Mic drop. Bomb. Oh my God, literally amazing. And that was all in caps. I love you, Jordan. Thank you for that. That's the comment I just saw. So are you guys ready to see what these 5 things are? I'm so pumped. I'm going to just look at you guys again. I'm scrolling through the screen. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, cool. So good. Yes. We're ready. Okay. So the B, let me get my other screen. Okay. So I've got all the computers, all the tech. Okay. So the B in BRAVE stands for boss. It stands for boss. And here's the thing, and I got a couple of like a boss things up in my office, and I need to start taking them down. Yo, you are not like a boss. You are a boss. You are a boss. And I feel like that, I can't take credit for this moment and this mic drop I'm giving you right now. Glennon Doyle, I don't know if you guys know who she is. She posted this thought on her Instagram, and Abby had bought her partner had bought her like a boss thing for her desk. And Glennon comes in and she's like, what is this? Like, what does this even mean? And she's so funny, and she's like, you are not like a boss. You are a boss. Why do people think that they're, and I was like, exactly, like that's a great point. You are not like a girl. You are a girl. You are not like a boss. You are a boss. You're not like anything. So step into your power and start eliminating some of those limiting beliefs from your life. And the reason I start with boss is this. You have to make a decision. This is why we're called Fear Bosses. That's what my podcast is called, The Fear Boss Show, right? It is all about making a shift to remember and to live in this space that you are the CEO of your life, whether you run a business or not, whether you work for someone else or not. I dedicated an entire chapter I'm like sweating right now, to this idea in my book, because it is so important to understand. You are a CEO, and we have to stop feeling guilty for taking care of our business first before we go take care of the rest of the world. And we put all of these people ahead of us, our kids, our husband, all these other people. We're trying to people please, and we want to be the good girl. And what it does is it makes us miserable and pissed off and resentful, and we have all of this regret. But who do you think is going to benefit the most when you put yourself into the number? Anybody know that song by Ludacris, Number One Spot? If I had like my music queued up, I'd play it right now. Go listen to Ludacris, Number One Spot. It's naughty headphones, but I want you to get into the number one spot in your life. In your life, because who do you think is going to benefit from you being the bravest, best, most badass version of yourself? Everybody else that is ahead of you on your own list. And let's just talk specifically to the moms on the line right now. When your girls, when your boys see you be brave, when they see you build a business, when they see you be confident, when they see you move your body and read and love yourself, that's how they're going to get their self-worth. You're going to show them the way. You will become a fear role model for everybody else who's watching you. And I'm not talking about in a creepy way, but we're watching you. We are watching you, and you have a chance in front of you, especially now, to show the people looking at you that you will get through. You can do hard things, and you will get through hard things. And guess what? You're going to get through it better and stronger and faster and smarter. And so we need to stop apologizing for taking care of ourselves, for getting the bath and doing the manicure and wanting to walk around Target alone just so we can get away from everybody. This is mental wellness. So I want you to write yourself a permission slip right now to love yourself, to take care. This doesn't mean we don't love other people, but we are the boss. We call the shots, and a fear boss does not feel guilty about that, because she and he knows that they are running a business, this business, and none of it works if you don't work. Okay, there's the B. This requires you also to cause a damn ruckus in your life. I love this word, okay? A ruckus means you choosing to cause a ruckus, and being a boss is a ruckus, okay? It means that you choose to rattle the cage of mediocrity with your courage, and you realize that if you want to live a different life, if you want to run a different business, if you want to have a different marriage, if you want to be a different kind of parent, you have to be willing to do things different than everybody else who shows up and just goes through the motion. A fear boss does not do basic. It is not in our DNA. It is not in our language. Robin says that all the time on the Peloton. If I have any Peloton riders, shout out at me right here. By the way, we have a Fear Boss hashtag on the Peloton. So come see me. We're going to do some Fear Boss rides. And one of our instructors is Robin Arzana. She's always like, we don't do basic. And I love this idea. So we are brave enough to cause a ruckus in our life, which means that we do things differently, which also means that we take action in our lives when a lot of people don't. There's a lot of people that sit around and overthink and they wait and they wait. And there's a lot of people that are always getting ready. A fear boss gets going. And that's how we make change in our lives. And really the action in the Brave framework is all about fear experiments. And this is the core idea. Yes, a fear experiment, Kate, is doing it scared. So fear experiments, becoming a fear scientist is the core idea in my work on fear. And I wrote about it really loosely in the book. Like it was a homework assignment. Each section of the book ends with a homework assignment. And I can't remember exactly what chapter it is in, but I loosely referenced fear experiments rather. And it just took off like a freaking rocket ship. So let me give you the high level example of what a fear experiment looks like on a big scale and on a small scale. And by the way, make a little side note that you could go to my podcast, the hashtag Fear Boss Show, and go to episode 10. It's like 12 minutes long, 10 minutes maybe, and I recorded just an episode. Here's fear experiments, here's the breakdown. So it'll give you a little bit more of an in-depth look at how it came into my life, how I'm using it, and I'll spend more time with you there doing that. But for now, Cliff Notes, fear experiments are anytime you get uncomfortable on purpose. So Melissa and I were talking even before we were in the private comments in the private chat, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm nervous. Hopefully I'm not embarrassing you by saying this." But she's like, "I'm nervous to introduce you, and this is like a total fear experiment for me right now." I'm like, exactly. And this is how we get stronger. The more you run those reps, think about it. Fear experiments are weights. They're the weights you're picking up in the gym, and the more you pick up those weights, the stronger you get. So fear experiments are you getting uncomfortable on purpose. They are the discomfort zone moments. So fear experiments can be really big, juicy things. I have had some really big fear experiments in my life. Quitting a job, starting a business, becoming a step parent, moving from Chicago to Ohio, quitting a bad habit, confronting a toxic person, leaving toxic relationships, asking for a raise and more money, upping my fees as a performer. I mean, big fear experiments, right? The name of the podcast is The Fear Boss Show. Maybe Melissa can put it in the comments so people know. So I've done really big fear experiments, but you don't need to. You need to jump out of a plane or climb a freaking mountain to show the world that you're brave. You can do small everyday things and still work your fear muscle, the courage muscle, right? So small regular fear experiments could look like introducing someone on a team call. Maybe a fear experiment for you was just not hitting the freaking snooze button this morning because of what you have going on in your life and in your environment. Maybe a fear experiment is trying a new food or listening to a different Spotify station. Maybe it's wearing sequin when everybody else is in suits. Maybe it's rocking cowboy boots when everybody else is in tennis shoes. Maybe it's styling your hair differently. Maybe it's wearing a color you're not used to. Maybe it's picking up the phone and calling calling someone versus texting them all of the time. Maybe it's you going to your team leader saying, I have an idea for a really cool team call. Can I lead it? It's sitting in the front row at meetings, raising your hand first, speaking up first on conference calls. These are all ways that you can get uncomfortable every day on purpose. I mean, I did in my newsletter a challenge on Friday. I'm like, okay, I want everybody's fear experiment this week to be brushing your teeth. I want everybody at least once this week to brush your teeth to a song that makes you feel so damn good. I'm telling you, you guys, if you feel I have struggled with anxiety and have some of that going on in my life, and I think most of us have it right now, but I've had it most of my life. So I'm always looking for ways to like raise my vibe and not get into really dark places. And so if you are sad and you are it is hard to be sad when you are brushing your teeth in the first 2 minutes of your day to one of your favorite songs, and everybody's going to look at you like you're crazy. My husband's like, what is going on? But fear experiment, like, good. And guess what? Those high vibes become a little contagious. Fear's contagious. Panic's contagious. But so is happiness and joy and bravery and confidence. And remember, when I see you be confident, it makes me want to be confident. When I see you have fun, it gives me the permission to have fun, right? So you can become a fear role model. So Fear Experiments lives in the middle of this framework because it is the root on all the work that we're doing on fear. Okay, so let's move on to the V, and it's one of my favorite words, vulnerable. Okay, here's what this means. You have to be willing to get it wrong in order to get closer to getting it right. So we have this mantra in the improv theater that there are no mistakes. No mistakes. I write about it in the book, No Mistakes, Only Gifts. No mistakes, only gifts. And I was doing improv on my nights and my weekends and like had a corporate day job during the day. And I was by day being told, like, be yourself, but not too much, or have fun with the presentation, but tell me about it first, or wear this or do that. And it was just like I had to fit into all of these boxes. And I was so afraid to really do things that were authentic and myself. And I was afraid of failing. And I was a nervous wreck that I'd get fired. Yet here I was at Second City and in the improv theater, and I'd show up and they'd be like, okay, I want you to be yourself. I want you to fail. I want you to fail so hard. I want you to go out on that stage and bomb. I want you to be more of yourself. I want you to, all of these things, take more risks, fall down on purpose. Like, I wasn't being told that in corporate America and in life, and doing that, running the reps on that for many, many years really allowed me to be more brave. So by day, and certainly as an entrepreneur, I jump before I ask for permission. Now, I'm not hurting people, nor am I suggesting anybody do anything crazy and go get yourselves fired. But I would start to take more risks. I would start to trust myself a little bit more. I would infuse more of who I was into the work that I was doing. And I would literally seek out failure like a fiend, because I know it is how I'm going to get to where I want to go a little bit faster. It's like the best class you can take in life school, right? I think Elizabeth Gilbert calls life school, right? So, what are those lessons? Like, you're never going to have a cool curriculum in your life if you don't have a whole section dedicated to failures. I mean, failures are our best stories. And I think that's what we want to hear from people. I love hearing how other entrepreneurs F things up, because that's how I can shave off some of the learning curve for myself. And it inspires me, like, oh my God, they're human, right? Like, you think of these people you look up to and you're like, oh my God, they failed. I had no idea. The other thing I want you to write really big and put somewhere in your office so that you look at it every day, and this is a massive Fear Boss mantra, is that you will either win or you will learn, but you will never lose, okay? So allow that idea to remove the fear of failure and looking stupid and silly. There is so much power in looking silly, because when I see you do something and it doesn't work and then you try again, it gives me the confidence to go do that for myself. But I also find so much power, and I know you can too, from this idea that you're either going to win or learn, but you will not lose. Why do we give the power to failure and to fear? Why don't we start celebrating the courage it takes to try something new? And we can do this for ourselves, we can do this with our team, and we can do it with our kids. Someone trying something new requires guts and a lot of courage and a lot of bravery. So celebrate that. Celebrate the courage it takes to put yourself out there and get it wrong so you can get a little bit closer to getting it right. And remember, all you got to do is be just a little bit braver than you were yesterday, right? And then last but not least, we got to talk about energy. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I got a little bit of energy. I run pretty high vibe and I don't even drink a lot of coffee. And if you ever met me in person, like this is pretty much, my husband always says, he's like, yeah, being married to my wife is like getting shot out of a cannon, right? And I know he means that with love, but here's the thing, y'all. And it's a Brennan Burchard quote that I'm obsessed with. He says this: power plants do not have energy. They generate energy. So I have my energy and I have this relationship with my energy because I work at it. Here's the thing you need to hear right now. You cannot be exhausted and brave. You cannot be overwhelmed and brave. You can't be sick and brave. You cannot be crazy, busy, and brave, because bravery requires energy and stamina and focus. It requires you to be alive on the front lines of your life. And so a fear boss, the brave, understand that protecting your energy should happen at all costs, and you need to guard your energy with your life. And I'm even talking about the people that are stealing it from you. There are going to be people that do not understand your dreams. There are going to be people that do not understand what it is that you're chasing. And 99.9% of the time, it is everything to do with them and nothing to do with you, because your changing and your growth and you becoming the healthiest, bravest, most powerful version of yourself may mean that you outgrow them and you don't need them anymore. And so that scares these people who have known you to be a certain way your whole life. So the goal is to realize that you are a boss, and it is your job to cause a ruckus and to take action in your life and to fail in order to get it right, and to remember that your energy is the most important asset that you have in this business that you are running as the CEO of you. So maybe it's time to unfollow some people that make you feel like shit about yourself. Maybe it's time to start backing away. I mean, we're in quarantine. If you have a relationship that you've never been able to figure out how to back away from, well, now you kind of have a perfect opportunity to back away from it, because you literally can't be around them. So maybe it's time to walk away from some relationships that aren't serving you. Maybe it's time to unfollow. Start making a thing. Unfollow Friday. Let's go. Let's unfollow some people that make us feel horrible, and start mixing up our social media feeds with people who move us, inspire us, challenge us, and change us, right? But we have to realize that nothing works if we don't work. And if you want to run a different business and live a different life and have a different relationship and be a different parent, you have to be willing to do things different. And that requires you to protect your energy and your light with your life. Cool? Okay, I love this, you guys. So many good comments. I'm telling you, I'm like sweating. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pause so that we can go into a little Q&A here, okay? A couple of quick things for y'all. So I have some free resources and some fun free things for y'all. So if you wanna text
Happening, Becky? No, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Hey, sorry. I wanted to just ask everybody, how's everybody doing? Are you good? Because the next part she goes into is just sharing how you can follow her on social and some of the free stuff. Does everybody want to see that? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, is everybody, I cannot see anybody, and I do not know why.
Well, stop your share. You're still sharing your screen.
I'm trying to stop. There you go.
There you go.
So many things. Does everybody want to see her free stuff because she goes into like a 5-minute thing sharing about her book and all those things. And I can give that all to you right now and we can talk.
We can search her on Instagram.
Here's my 2 cents, unless somebody else wants to pipe in, but I feel like if you want to find her, we can always share the link for her whole video that we're sharing tonight. You guys can go in and like fast forward and, you know, that kind of stuff. Or you could just find her on Instagram, like Jen said. She's going to have all.
I already found her, and I know that her husband is way older than her, and I know probably far too much about her than I should.
Yeah, her Instagram is just Judi Holler, Judi. But then the one thing I did want to tell you guys, and then Jess, I want to hear more what you were saying. If you want to get her free like journal prompts or get on her email list or whatnot, you can text the word brave, BRAVE, to 474747. So just put 347s into your text and put the word brave and you'll be on her stuff. And her book is Fear Boss. You can get it on Amazon or
Homeboy, not Fear Boss.
Why do I keep saying that?
I don't know.
Fine.
This is what it looks like. It's hot pink.
And if you loved how she talks, get Audible. If you're not sure you love how she talks, get the book like Monica.
The way she talked in that call is not anything like the way she talks on Audible. I could listen to that voice.
It does seem different, doesn't it?
It's different. When she's reading, it's a little different.
So what did you guys think? Did you like it?
Say.
Did you like it? Oh, people just jump off. When people jump off, I'm like, ah. Or was that the person that needed to get off early?
Yes, that was Dawn.
She
well,
just
how about just go, because I know you had some thoughts first.
Yeah, I just took like 4 pages of notes, but there were definitely ones that I was like, yes, speak that. I love how she talked about the discomfort zone, because I think that we hear that a lot, like, oh, get out of your comfort zone, you know, and but just the fact that she talked about it really is bravery, and it's like a muscle that you get stronger the more that you use it. And I can relate to that because we're all in here for fitness and health and nutrition, right? But also as coaches and trying to help other people. I remember when I first started, like at the beginning, I was probably a year in or whatever, and my coach said, okay, I want everybody to go live and do a little video. And I was like, I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm doing, like, I was overcome with fear. Like I started sweating, I was getting my heart sped up. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like there's been something for every single one of you. I don't know if it's going live or sharing your story, or maybe it's sharing your transformation picture on social media. I don't know, but I know every single one of you has had that moment of, oh man, I'm going to be sick, right? And that's how I felt when she asked me to go live. And here I am all the time going live now. Well, it's because I had to do that first scary live video that honestly was horrible. I was nervous. And I still even now have moments where I know I need to go live. I'm like, okay, I got to go live. And sometimes it takes me a while, like talk myself into it, which sounds so ridiculous because I've been doing it, but it still is it's that bravery piece that she was talking about. I'm like, yes, I can relate to that. So I really like that part, but I'll let you guys share too, because I don't want to take over the call, but that was something that really resonated with me. Like, oh my goodness, I can really relate to that.
Just to sort of tag onto that, I feel like for me, the things that I get really like sweaty and anxious about always have to do with what other people are going to think. So like whether that's posting a transformation or whether that's going live or whether that's sharing my goals or whatever, like what are people going to think? And I wrote it big on the top here, if they're already talking about you, you might as well give them something to talk about, which makes me feel a little crazy because then they're going to talk about me even more. But so anyways, then she talked about fear experiments and I'm like, okay, so I just need to do more of that stuff where it's going to get people to talk about me, because the more I do it, the less I will have fear about it and I'll realize it's not that big of a deal. Same as going live. So whatever that thing is, and I can't even pinpoint one thing because I could tell you a list of things that make me want to crawl into a hole, but it always for me kind of comes back to what what are other people going to say about me? And they're going to talk about me. Well, yeah, they probably already are. If they're that kind of people that you have to worry about that, they probably already are. So you might as well just give them something good to talk about. I loved that. And I'm going to write that on a piece of paper and put it right here on my computer. And just every time I'm like, ooh, but they're going to say this. Well, good. Do it, sister. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, I loved how she called them fear experiments too. I love that. That terminology really was like, oh, that's a super smart way to talk about it. And I agree with you, Jen. Mine is more, I don't want anyone to ever think I'm stupid because I'm not stupid, but sometimes I've come across as like, that wasn't very smart. And so sometimes I have that moment of, man, I don't want to say something that someone will then think I'm stupid. So it's like a core fear of mine, which I know, but so I can agree with that too. But what do the rest of you guys think? Anybody else have?
That's a core fear of mine, and I didn't ever know that until you just said that.
Wait, say it again.
That the fear of being people thinking I'm stupid. I definitely think
it makes like core fears. That was a thing that was like 8 years ago or something. But there was like this whole testing and things you could do on it. But to really figure out the thing that triggered you and upset you the most, or got you really anxious and like worried and upset. Well, mine was if anyone ever teased me and like poked at the fact that they made me sound like I was stupid, that would just get me so angry. So that's one of my core. It's the only core fear actually I have. The one that bugs me the most. People think I'm stupid or.
So then if you're worried that people think what you're doing is stupid and then you're sharing about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mind blown. I know. I'm glad I could put some wisdom on you there, Jen.
Well, Jess, you know how you're just asking what everybody thinks, and I want to hear it too. And my assignment for y'all, and if you don't have it right now, it's fine. You just need to share it in your team page with your upline. I want you guys, and I'll share mine, and I would love for you guys to share. Like, I can make Jen and Monica and Jess share because I have permission in their life to do that, but maybe not with everybody else. But I want to know what your fear experiment is going to be this week. I want to say tomorrow, but I'll give you some grace, like whatever that is. Even something as simple as just getting up a little bit earlier, like because that's something that you normally don't really want to do because it'll help you live that life. Like, what is something that you could do to experiment with fear this week? So anybody want to go with something? I haven't given you it's really me that I'm saying this. Okay, so I guess think about that. And then the other thing, so what's your fear experiment this week? You can share that if you want, or with your team page. And I want everybody to put in their Friday agenda that they're going to do Unfollow Friday. I want you to go through your feed, whether it's seriously a cousin you can't stand, just like hide her stuff. Or if there's people on Instagram who make you want to like not like your life or who you are, let's do some unfollowing. So I'd love to hear what you guys think in the last 10 minutes we have. And if you already know what your fear experiment is, I would love to hear. So since we heard from Jen and Jess, Mon, can I put you on the spot? Are you like?
Yeah, I wanted to share two things. First, like, I love that she said the whole fear experiment thing, that it's like doing little things, because I think when we see the word fear, we think these big, grandiose things. And it's not like that, especially in coaching. Like, especially if you're a new coach and you invite one person, that could be a very small step, but that could seem really big. And so I really like that she kind of broke it down and made it more tangible. So that's the first thing that I liked. And I wanted just to kind of add, so I got really, really vulnerable today on my social media, and I did a post that I wanted to vomit. I've been a coach for over 4 years, guys, and in some ways it gets easier, in some ways it doesn't, but this one was like super vulnerable to the point where I don't even know if my family knew some of this stuff. But the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys right now is, on the back end, the amount of women that have messaged me, texted me, said, me too, thank you for sharing, you have no idea, I was struggling. Like, it gives me goosebumps. And so it's related but not, but it was very scary for me to do that. But the reward is unbelievable. Like I have so many people to message. And so I just want you guys to know that it doesn't have to start off with this grandiose, big, vulnerable post. But for me, that's in my life, in my season, that's where it was for me. And I had to do that. And now I have all these new women to connect with, and that's coaching. That's it. Like, it's not like transformation or this or that. But so I just kind of wanted to show, to remind you guys that it's just, it could be big or it could be small. And whatever that is for you, find out what that is. And I think Becky's assignment will be a good one for each of us. Because for some of us, it could be really small, like inviting somebody for the very first time or inviting a family member. Maybe that's super scary or whatever. So I really did love that. And the last thing I'm going to say is, if you guys like this format, I hope you do, then we'll keep doing it. But if you're like, no, I'm not sure, whatever kind of thoughts that you guys have about this format, let your coach know so we can continue to improve these calls. I'm done.
That's awesome. I'm not going to start babbling until I give Sarah, Marina, Jen, Terry, who has something on their heart that wants to share. I want to hear. Unmute yourself. Did you raise your hand, Marina?
I'm going to interrupt her real quick. Marina is my new coach. Welcome to the team. It's her first official team call. So congratulations and welcome. Love seeing you, girl. Go ahead.
Thank you. I mean, I'll just piggyback off of what Monica said. Just piggyback off of that. I mean, with her being vulnerable like that, it made me feel vulnerable, and I shared some personal stuff with her that I was dealing with. So sometimes it's good when you see people break out of their boundaries, of their comfort. It gives you that much more of a comfort to do that in itself. And I can definitely say one of the major things what definitely made me want to do the coaching more was the fact that I kind of stepped out of my comfort zone when it came to, I'm only going to work out and that's it. I don't want to share it with anyone else, just because I don't want people to look at me weird or whatever, or people judge me, whatever the case may be. Until, I had friends, say like, hey, you've been changing a lot with your body, whatever, what are you doing? So I've always had like this issue with just people, like interactions with people. I don't know why. I think that's still an issue with me till this day. Of course it is. So I've been having a lot of people tell me like, look at you, you're becoming more happier, whatever the case may be. So that's what made me do it. And I think one of the major stuff was that I've also had like other like people come up to me saying like, I've had eating disorders. I know you've experienced that before. What did you do to overcome that body issue, looking at whatever? So I will definitely say for me, especially with Monica, she's saying like, she even asked my permission, do you mind if I can put you back on social media? And I will definitely say, I've never been the kind of person to post on social media myself. So I said, you know what? I'm going to let her do it, because at least this will help me get out of like my comfort zone rather than being shelled in like a hermit crab or whatever. And with the amount of responses I've been getting, it actually, I was actually Monica saying like, I'm actually crying happy because of how many people responding of the good news, whatever. And people who I haven't talked to in a while are responding saying like, I know this girl, blah, blah, blah. So when it came to that, that actually helped me open up my shell just a little bit more, saying it's okay to talk and share your accomplishments. It's okay. People are not going to look at you weird. And I guess just to piggyback off of that, there was one quote, it actually like, it kind of resonates with all of this. And I think I shared it with my aunt this morning, which was really nice. And one of the beautiful, does anyone know Priyanka Chopra? Does anyone know her? She's a famous actress in India. And she had a famous quote, I'll send it out. She said, don't try to squeeze into a glass slipper, but instead shatter the glass ceiling. Again, don't try to squeeze into a glass slipper, instead shatter the glass ceiling. And I looked at that as myself and saying like, I've always had an issue trying to fit in with my kind of cultural community. I've had a difficulty just trying to fit in with people, whatever. And I realized it's okay to be unique. It's okay to stand out. It's okay to, not be as everyone else. And sometimes you look even better when you stand out the most. And I definitely think, you know, that message that she was saying, like being brave and being your own boss, whatever, it made me think of that quote all of a sudden. Again, if anyone wants to write it down, it's from Priyanka Chopra. And again, don't try to fit inside a glass slipper, but instead shatter the glass ceiling. And I think that's a good motivation to say it's okay to be unique. So, and I guess I'll talk with Monica to see what I could do to do what my fear is this week. So thank you.
And that's a new coach on a new call. Oh my goodness.
Right? That's a brave, like right there, like fear experiment. Boom. Girlfriend. And if Monica hadn't pushed past all of her fears and been brave enough to invite Marina to a group to be amazing, and now she's helping people, you guys, this is what it's about. It is not about bugging people with Shakeology. It is about saying, let's love ourselves and figure out how we can inspire the crap out of other people so they can do it. It's amazing. Okay, Sarah, you unmuted yourself, so I want to hear from you.
Okay, I don't have that much to say, but my new coach, Lauren, blew it up this month like crazy. She was at top of the leaderboard. But her and I were having a conversation about just being vulnerable. And it's not about selling the challenge pack and, you know, trying to get, I mean, yes, we all want to get SC and climb that SC ladder, but it's also about just helping meet the person where they're at. And for me, help the most people, it's when I'm vulnerable. So when I'm posting all my sweaty selfies and I'm smiling and, you know, yay, in my workout, I don't get as many comments or likes as if, I post that I really struggled in my workout, or I had to keep trying to do this one move, or I just couldn't tackle it, or, you know, whatever. I've had a really crappy day and I just didn't feel like working out today. That's when all the people start commenting, and you know, it's almost like, well, everybody wants to support other people. And so if you never show your vulnerable side, then you never can be supported. But that is the hardest thing for me, is to be vulnerable and I guess just kind of let my guard down and not be the real me, because I'm not fake on Facebook or social media, but always posting that highlight reel. So sorry, my air conditioner just turned off when I finished talking. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Sarah.
I missed your face, Sarah. I just wanted to say that. That's all.
No.
It's frozen. I don't even know if she can hear me.
I can.
So we could probably keep talking a ton, but is there anybody else that really felt led to talk? Because we have 2 minutes. I want to give somebody the floor if there's anybody else. So please post your team page or message your upline what your fear experiment is, and that you've done your unfollow Friday. Because I guess one thing I'm going to say just in close, like, what is an area you need to be more vulnerable in so that you show you're real? Not that we're being fake. None of us on here are. You wouldn't be on this team if you were. But like Sarah just sharing that thing, it's like, yeah, we saying to people that I hurt, I modified, I didn't do it great. Like, that's so much more what people need to hear than to be like, I just crushed my workout, whatever. So yeah, find your vulnerable, whatever that is. And Monica, thanks for giving us an amazing example of being vulnerable in your post. And I know you told us you were going to do it, and it's like, you're going to do it, and then actually doing it, and then walking away, and you're like, ugh. And then you see how so many people are blessed by it. It's just so huge. So thanks, girl. Thanks everybody for being here. This was fun to learn together, but also to be able to talk. I think it's really great. So next week is the first week in June, right? And I believe Jessica is hosting a power hour. And we're really excited about these, you guys, because everybody's power hour is a little bit different. And so Jess will be sharing a little bit. And the week after that, we will be sharing what's coming. like opportunities with products, opportunities with groups, opportunities with coaching, all that kind of stuff. And then the week after that, on the 16th, I believe it is, I'll be doing a power hour. And then the week after that, we'll be doing another one of these Slay Squad sharing, growing together calls. So we're really excited about this format, just to really create community. And we hope that next month we double the faces and the people we get to bless. Thanks so much, everybody, for being on here. We'd also love to tell your upline coach how you felt like this new format went and how you feel about that. We love your feedback. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Becky. Bye.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. Have a good one.
week. You and me, Terry. I can't even leave.